Hello everyone and welcome to Chapter 2 finale of Warriors Orochi 3. Finally, after capturing Daji, Shuten Doji, and kicking Kiyomori Tyrant's ass multiple times, it is finally time to see if we can take down the Hydra with a giant Chinese laser cannon. No, I'm not making this up. So let's dive right on in with Zhurong and Luoyang. So, continuing off where Team Hanbei left off, we captured Shuten Doji and rescued the hostages at Zhurong, and Taigan Wang has been using the stuff from Zhurong to start building the device to fight the Hydra. Naturally, you can't go building a giant weapon to fight a giant monster without said giant monster showing up early to make the completion of the weapon more dramatic. So the Hydra showed up at Luoyang, and Taigan Wang loaded up the unfinished weapon onto the backs of our poor foot soldiers to get it there, so we can have our dramatic showdown with the Hydra. I'd sure hate to be one of the poor bastards carrying the thing. So remember last week's mission that pretty much had me running around like a madman trying to keep the bad guys from killing our dudes? This is pretty much a smaller, easier version of that mission. There are two things that make this mission easier than Magoichi's. One, our dudes don't die in under 30 seconds after contact with the enemy. And two, the level is much smaller and mainly takes place in the area around the big stairs than on opposite ends of a huge level like Magoichi's was. Pretty much our main goal is to keep Taigan Wang and Shuten Doji from getting their asses kicked, and to protect the device. And yes, I am not calling it the Yashiori. Pretty much a ton of reinforcements are going to be spawning in pretty much constantly throughout the mission, and we have to keep on running back and forth to make sure they don't break our toys. We already have one guy popping up on the opposite side of the arena while we handle the first threat at this time. Also pictured by the ice weapon effect can mess up juggle combos. If the launcher attack freezes the enemy, they won't get knocked up for any follow-up attacks. Also breakdance fighting. Mind you, ice is really nice for completely stunning an enemy for several seconds. It can just be annoying when it messes up something like a Samurai Warrior's extended charge combo or an EX attack. And we already have even more reinforcements, this time aiming for the device. Normally I'd be more worried about it, but guys heading for the device usually get stuck fighting Sima Zhao or Wang Yuanji. And this time we aren't suffering from piss poor morale. No, I'm not bitter. What are you talking about? I also have a bit of a problem fighting Mamushi here with Zhurong because the knives friggin' suck. I don't know whose bright idea it was that no hit stun should be a thing, but it really makes things difficult, especially when you don't have the wind weapon effect on the weapon. If getting smacked around and knocked out of your combo wasn't bad enough, enemies can also just start blocking mid-combo, ruining your damage output. Zhurong does get points for having a cool Musou attack, but come on, look at her health right now. If it was Jiang Wei fighting him, I would have barely been touched. Also a little hop right there because I forgot Jiang Wei isn't a speed type. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that when you fight close to the device, the Hydra has a nasty habit of using his fireball rain from the first mission, because he totally uses his fireball rain from the first mission. So I hope you didn't pick a character with a slow combo string or doesn't move around much for this part, or you are going to be eating some flames. Also, I didn't notice that I had killed Big McLarge Huge with Jiang Wei's Musou, so I thought going for a triple strike here would finish him off. Instead, I just menaced the foot soldiers with my giant sky laser. Also, Masamune has finally decided to show his arrogant face at this time. I think it's the first time that he has shown up since friggin' Chapter 1. I think the same goes for Keiji Maida as well. I wonder why they never used them for most of Chapter 2, especially when the enemy army could use a bit more diversity beyond Kiyomori and Goku in some of the missions. Heck, that goes double for the side missions. I know they are supposed to focus on the recruited characters and all that, but having more player character enemies makes battles more interesting. Either way, Luoyang wants Masamune to check out his sweet dance moves. He also almost ends my friggin' run by activating his Musou on Luoyang. Seriously, do not underestimate that attack, especially when you're close enough to get hit by multiple bullets. After last mission, some of you may be wondering why am I not using the horse like I was in Magoichi's mission. Well, good on you for remembering the last mission, but shame on you for forgetting my list of rules on why I don't really bother with horses. Easiest way to sum that up is way too many little annoyances for not a lot of benefits unless the horse's name is Red Hair. At this point, we're actually getting pretty close to the finale, as the enemy is performing what is pretty much their final charge. Unfortunately for us, one of the groups involves some of the Orochi ninja commanders, and some of them have a nasty habit of just going screw it, and just running past your defenders and heading straight for the objectives. Don't you just hate it when the computer uses human tactics against it? I mean, what is this supposed to be? Fair? Heck, if more of the enemy officers pulled that, I might actually have to be a bit concerned about the device being taken down. Also, at this point, I can jump to our mystical Chinese laser cannon being complete, but as I mentioned, the ninja guys sometimes like to just run past everyone, so I moved to take him out before getting stuck in the battle with the Hydra, just in case. Last thing you need is to be having your epic battle with a giant snake cut short because Taigan Wong decided to forget how to fight and get his ass kicked by a generic officer. Seriously, losing a battle because I got my ass kicked is rage-inducing, but understandable. Losing because someone else got their ass kicked is just plain annoying, especially after what happened last mission. I said I'm not bitter! Either way, it's now time to get to the device and enact some pew-pewing for great justice. That is, after I run over there eventually. So yes, our giant laser cannon was just empowered by another laser. It's a laser-based economy here. And now for something completely different. Like in the very first mission of the game, we have a bit of a Space Invaders thing going on here. Instead of just plinking away with the dinky arrows, we have two modes of attack. The rapid fire pew 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 with the square button and the giant laser attack of the circle button. Generally, you use the pew 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 attack to stun the Orochi and keep it from attacking you, and then use the beam while it's stunned for massive damage. Some of you might be having a sinking feeling about all of this, given that the finale of the game will be a battle against all 8 heads at the same time. And yes, you do have to do this for all 8 heads during the battle, and yes, it does take forever and a day to Space Invader them all to death. So, yeah, we killed a Hydra head and Orochi just showed up from the burst of dark energy that spewed out of it. Also, Keiji is here, but who gives a rat's ass about that when the friggin' Demon Lord is apparently back from the dead? Also, by the good old processes of deduction, that means that the Hydra is some byproduct of Orochi and may in fact be him. This also brings up the horrifying idea that after you kill any of the Hydra heads, another Orochi will pop up, so at worst we may have to fight 8 Orochis at the same friggin' time. And Orochi is a giant bitch to fight. For one, he is pretty aggressive, and for another, he is a power type, so I hope you get your power attacks off fast or you may be eating one of his combos, and they hurt. If you look at my health at the moment, that is from 1 attack by Orochi, and the man only gets more powerful as the game goes on. Of course, you could always go for the cheesing route of just unloading all 3 of your Misos on the guy, which works fine here. But when you're fighting 8 of the bastards, good luck because you're gonna run out of your Miso very quickly. Also, Masamune and Keiji are having a heel face turn because this Orochi isn't as cool as their Orochi. And with Jiang Wei's lightning ram attack, this Orochi is down for the count. For now.
これで幼者を倒したんですかね。
撃退には成功したようだ。だが滅するには至っていない。オロチを吐き出した幼者は地の底を這い巣に戻ったのだろう。奴らの巣にはあんなのが8匹もいる。すべて撃ち滅ぼすには兵器の数も攻め入るための兵力も圧倒的に足りないな。
人間の数は減りすぎましたか。
幼者が吐き出したオロチ、あやつは本当のオロチではない。あれはただ滅びをまき散らすものじゃ。あのようなものをわしは認めぬ。
どうやら俺たちがついてってたオロチはいい加減認めなきゃならないかね。その上で見定めるとしようか。進むべき道ってやつは。
幼者の巣にヤシオウリを運び込む手はず整えてまいった。
しかし何もかもが不足している。今のまま攻めて勝てるとは思えんがな。ああ、では一体どうしたら。
そもそもあれを出現させなければいいんじゃない。
ダッキか。
お久しぶり、太公望さん。
出現させないってどうやって。幼者出現前には戻れないんじゃ。
私の過去になら戻れるわよね、かぐやちゃん。旋回の住人たるラッキ様の存在の縁は人に比べてはるかに太く強いものゆえに、それをよすがに時を渡れば荒波を越えることもできましょう。
ではダッキ、Kに問う。過去に戻り、いかにして出現を防ぐ。
それは秘密。
信用できん。
だが他に手はないか。
So after all those words, we have recruited Keiji and Masamune Date. So with that, chapter 2 is complete. Thanks to this chapter, we have successfully secured Daji so we can use her to go back before the Hydra showed up, and capturing Shuten Doji gave us a powerful weapon to use against the demonic forces. I also did a bit of editing to put us already on the bridge because there are some conversations that spoil the spin chapter 3 puts on the formula. Also, since we are in chapter 3, the base has been upgraded again. Pretty much that just makes things look prettier, like the good old bridge is now made of stone, and makes the blacksmith have a better inventory. The tea house also adds a new course that is more expensive and boosts affection even more, but in general it's not really worth it till we unlock the one from chapter 4. We can also just jump into chapter 4 and fight the Hydra again and have a much higher chance of success this time. but this just leads to the bad ending, so not much point in doing it now. Before jumping into Chapter 3, we are going to do a side mission, which one I haven't decided yet. And then it's time to go further into the past and see if we can figure out a way to prevent the Hydra from ever showing up. I hope you will all join me again next time.